Hello, hello, and welcome to another episode of the Make It Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Barkley.
And I am your slightly darker complected host of the podcast, Nicholas Buggs. I know. See, we've got a guest here who hasn't gotten that familiarity with us and doesn't know about these nicknames, these so-called nicknames, Chris,
Yes.
that you say that people have for us. And we had a guest come on one time when we were talking about the fact that people called us the Chocolate Studs.
Yes.
And that guest was not so happy with the fact that your lightly complected self was willing to go along with such a moniker as the Chocolate Studs. But I think it still works, man. I think it still works.
Yeah, just because it's got a little milk chocolate in there doesn't mean it's not chocolate all the same.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's my litmus test. Here's the litmus test to know if you're black or not. How did the police treat you? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you're dark enough for the police in certain places, not all
certain
police,
places, certain places,
to mess with you in a way that seems unfair, then you're black. Now, here's what I've found out: the older I've gotten and the more money that I've gotten, I become less and less black. Now, that is a crazy thing to say. I know that, but here's the thing:
it's
cops let me go now. Yeah, I've not been messed with by a cop in 20 plus years.
It's because you're not driving in the same neighborhoods when you were blacker. Yes. Remember that?
When I was blacker back then. I was driving in blacker neighborhoods. You're right.
Exactly. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway, so yes, it's great to be here.
I'm whiter. I'm whiter than some white people, according to the cops.
Well, there you go.
That I meet.
So
things change. Helping us on this journey, this podcasting journey, per usual, is producer Papa Bear. Papa Bear, say hello.
Hello, I'm your Vanilla Stud.
Vanilla Stud, there he is. I love it. And we're missing Intern Sam today. Intern Sam, we were going to miss you on this thing, but I know you're holding us down from afar, and you'll be back soon. So all the young ladies and folks that only watch this podcast for him, don't worry. He didn't leave. He'll be back on the next thing. It's all good. With us today, as well as our esteemed guest, Dominic Hoffman. Dominic, say hello.
Hello. How are you?
Welcome.
It's nice to be here.
Well, it's really our pleasure. This hits a lot of levels for us because whether it be childhood, poetry, acting, writing, you really sort of run the gamut of creativity and artistry. And this podcast is known for not just bringing on one type of, sort of artist within a field, but we really touch on every type of artist or technician that works within film and beyond. And you sort of are the answer to all those things. So we're really pumped to have you on. If you don't mind just taking a minute to just share your official title with the audience and tell them what we might know you for or what they might know you for rather, and what you're working on now, that'd be great.
Well, I do a lot of stuff because, you got to make a living. And the answer is no, a lot. So you have to farm out your talent. I'm an actor. I'm a writer. I'm a director. I'm a book narrator. I started out as a writer, always a writer. And how I became an actor is a really funny story.
Let's hear it.
I'd love to hear it. I was
it.
writing scenes in college. I went to UC Santa Cruz. I was writing these scenes for these people to do. And I was directing them, and they said, "Well, hey, man, I don't understand. Just show us what you mean." And so I showed them, and they went, maybe you should be doing some of this acting. So I went to acting school, and that's it. People know me from, of course, Julian. It's funny that people remember me from that. It's kind of a compliment because I only did 9 episodes in 2 years' time.
Man, it doesn't feel like that. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I'm one of those fans who's like, Julian. He's like,
so just to be clear, let the audience know what show we're talking about.
Different World.
Of course, there we go.
The reason people remember me, of course, is because I was, playing Jasmine Guy's boyfriend on the show when, Different World was, extremely, extremely popular, and. But I've done a ton of stage. I've done 50 plays. I've written 12. I've written for television. I wrote 3 episodes of A Different World. I've written a bunch of films that have been optioned, but nobody's done them. Uh, I've done about 200 books narrated. I've directed a bunch of shows. I teach. I teach at a place called Ruskin here. Anthony Hopkins taught there for 2 years. It's a really good school. And I come in. I'm a sub. They call me sometimes. I just come in and substitute or direct a small play there. And it's a life of changing your occupation, like that. Because I might be narrating this week, and week after that, I'm always auditioning. So you're just trying to stay relevant. That's how I look at it. I'm just trying to stay relevant, and it's a very difficult world because it's not really about talent. It's about all kinds of other things. But it's about luck. But when you're lucky, you got to be ready. And so I always just try to stay ready. I had a pretty good last 9 to 10 months. I did a play for David Mamet. It was 4 of us. Chris Bauer, who you would know, Evan Jonikite, and Shia LaBeouf, just us 4. And we did, I think, 42 performances, no advertisement, no reviews, sold out every night. We had all these crazy movies. I mean, they put chairs in another line of chairs. And I mean, I can almost touch an audience member. It was crazy. And then we did the movie. And this is the craziest thing because it was one of the most, it was the most extraordinary cinematic experience I've ever had because we shot it in 5 days. We had a tremendous crew.
Okay.
Great DP. Great everybody. There was a guy, he's kind of a big guy, and we wondered what he was doing there, and he wanted just to come in to work as a PA just for the experience. We had so many people like that. I mean, you got Shia LaBeouf and David Mamet and Chris Bauer, I mean.
Right.
I'm but it was extraordinary. And I just got a thing right before you guys called that it's being released in May.
Oh, wow.
And a website.
Nice.
So
name of the film is
Arrow Theater here, which is an art theater in Santa Monica on Montana. I have a limited run there, but it's very exciting. I saw it. And
what's the name of it?
Henry Johnson.
Okay, that's what I thought. Henry Johnson. Got it. Look out for that May release.